Hello and welcome back to vidIQ, where today we are going to be taking a look at your YouTube channels you have been submitting on the forums linked down below. And if you're here live, it's a pretty good chance that, well, you won't get selected. Sorry. I was going to try to get your hopes up a little bit, but there's already well over 100 submissions. So hopefully you have a pen and a paper or a preferred note-taking method, because the chance of your specific channel getting picked is getting lower by the minute. Okay, I'm just going to burst your bubble right now. However, someone's channel is going to get picked, and hopefully you'll learn something. And I'm doing this all by myself, except I'm not, because Rob's here. Hello.
Oh, Dan, you were so close to talking yourself into a channel audit corner then, which I was not going to help you with. I was going to go at my allotted time, and you were just going to have to audit the next several hundred people who submitted. Hello, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. As always, your time is very valuable. We understand that. So we hope that we can give you something of immense value on your YouTube journey today.
Absolutely. We have a new kind of layout for our form. If you haven't submitted in a while and you've given up hope, maybe try submitting. Check out the new form. If you felt like, gosh, this form sure is long, we've shortened it up a little bit today. And we are going to show you exactly what that looks like right now, because I don't see any reason not to just get right into it.
All right. Wow. Efficient, Dan. Let's do it.
Efficient indeed. So we have YouTube pulled up, and I'll show you right here. Watch your eyes, because dark mode is not on for my forms here. We have some channels that we pre-selected here. And not only do we have their channel link, and if they're a gaming channel or not, we just have one more form or one more piece to this puzzle. And it's just a question. If we're going to look at your channel, what would you like us to focus on? What kind of answer are you hoping to get out of a channel review for us? And so Joe's Phenomenal submitted and said, do you think adding weekly live streams to my rotation should alter my normal long form content upload schedule, which is every 2 weeks? So we can take a look at your channel, and now with a renewed perspective of what Joe is currently focused on, it might be a little bit easier for us to answer his question. So we're going to try this new format. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, long time viewer. I remember I was saying this to Dan just before we went live, when we had guests come on for a personal audit. And I think you were one of those who joined us. I seem to think back then we were talking about Ninja air fryers. I might be wrong. We've audited a lot of cooking channels. But that was, I thought was your superpower. But today, Dan, I guess what we're tackling here is adding live streams to their content. Is that right? Was that the question?
Yes.
2 videos a week and now a live stream. That's what they're thinking about.
It's either a video every 2 weeks or 2 videos a week. I couldn't actually, with the way it was written, I was going back and forth on this. 2 per week is, I guess, how to.
Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I could just literally look 4 days ago, an hour ago. Sorry. So get ready for the Ninja Thirsty Max, by the way.
Look at that, 11,000 views. That is still their superpower.
Yeah, people really trust your judgment when it comes to Ninja products specifically, which is really cool to see. But it hasn't stopped you. I mean, Ninja Crispy, though, it's got to be a little bit annoying. However, it hasn't stopped you. You are trying all kinds of stuff, which is great, and even cooking videos too, which kind of goes hand in hand with using the products that you actually pull up on your channel. So
should we also say as well, just again to credit a channel more, cool thumbnails.
Yeah.
Hero product, the Philly cheesecake, cheese steak, not cheesecake, cheese steak that's just a chef's kiss of a thumbnail for me. Except for one thing.
Oh,
I'm curious what you think here, Dan. The color font. Do you think it should match everything else, or should it maybe have a different color to add a bit more pop to it, but not pop too much?
I was wondering that, because I like the blue seems to be the branding, right?
Yeah.
And so I get why the thumbnail would be blue, and I see that you've put 2 different strokes on it, black and white on top of that, just to help it kind of pull.
It's readable, yes.
It's readable. I wonder if you tested ever with the thumbnail testing feature, doing just a purely white font with a black stroke, same exact font type. It's just taking away the color from it, because I think blue on a blue background is a little interesting, and I wonder if it would be easier for people. You're putting a lot of work into these thumbnails and everything, and I worry that because of sometimes how blue it is, people's eyes are not focusing on a particular element. But
yeah, The thing is, I'm not sure if I should be reading the text first, second, last type of thing. And usually the hierarchy is that you read the text or you glance at the text first, and then there's an important thing, an object as well. Anyway, we've digressed there as usual. So let's have a look at the live tab, Dan. I just want to see their current cadence.
One comparison here: Instant Regret is super easy to read because of the white cabinet. 20 minutes, which is, I think, really important for this thumbnail. A bit harder for my eyes.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
That's like the big difference. So yeah, they want to know if live streams are going to be good for their regular.
Right. They haven't done anything yet. Okay, so I think my first suggestion here would be, let's not worry about the cadence at the moment. Let's get a live stream done, because you probably are out of the routine of doing it. There's some technical challenges to doing it. Let's get one in the bank, so to speak, and least path of resistance. Let's do one about the best Ninja air fryers, like of 2024 or something like that. Something that's going to appeal to the audience most. And we're getting to Black Friday as well. Like, there could be an opportunity to just squeeze something in, even if it's like down and dirty. You just smash one out. Get a webcam, just record, just do something for those potential affiliate sales, because I assume you've got all of that set up to go. So that would be my first immediate response here, Dan. Within 2 weeks, could you do just a live stream on your most popular topic to brush off the dust, wipe down the surfaces of your live streaming capabilities and skills?
I agree with that. I also have some ideas for the types of live streams you could do, and you didn't ask for this. You were more concerned about if they're going to interrupt the flow of your videos or anything. So I'll address that first and say live streams, by and large, especially when it comes to YouTube, they're more for your community, right? They're going to be pushed to people who have already found you through some other means, and they can kind of go out to new viewers, but just not nearly as good as a video can. So I think what you should do is expect a lower concurrent viewer ratio than you would like to see for your subscriber count. I mean, we get hundreds of people watching this, and we're a 2 million sub channel. So we don't think about that. We know that this is for people who have found us most likely recently, and we're trying to just give them a little bit of extra help, answer some questions, things like that. So
what do you think they'll max out at, Dan, with a stream if they did one tomorrow? Concurrent viewers.
Given the views on these, I'm not going to weigh. Given the views on the videos, I would say somewhere between 50 and 100 concurrents, perhaps. But I think it also depends on what you're doing.
I was thinking 50 max, if I'm honest.
50 max? Okay.
Yeah.
It depends if you do a ninja thing, because this is 11K, this is 15K. And so I would say it's going to be higher if you do focus on the thing that people kind of know you for. But yeah, that's the main thing I want to touch on this topic. So what Rob mentioned was cool. I think what would be really interesting is if you pitted different products against each other in kind of a challenge format where you're going to see which product cooks the thing the best.
Oh, that's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, a cook-off live stream.
You could cook your entire Thanksgiving dinner using only Ninja products or something. I would play around a bit, because reviewing products in a live stream could be interesting. Answering questions could be really helpful. But then if you're just kind of what if I just want to do something a little bit different that I wouldn't be able to get away with in a video? That could be a fun medium. And then if it does well, you could always go back and have that edited into a video for your channel and try that out too. I've seen people do that. So record it. If you're using OBS, you can record it in the background, and you'll have the footage clean. You have to go downloading it from YouTube later, and you could have that edited up into a video or shorts or whatever. But yeah, I would have some fun with it. I think you could do some really interesting stuff where you're pitting products against each other, and then also maybe a segment where you answer questions that people might have been asking for a while in the comments or whatever.
Can we quickly just put one of his live streams on and see where they're currently at streaming wise? Maybe just put one on and then skip to 10 minutes in, just so we get past any. Oh, that's already cool. They're doing camera switching.
Yep.
That's cool.
So yeah, kind of looking at chat, you got your whole kitchen set up for this. And then, second angle, which is great. And there, you are answering questions.
Oh, cool. They're using something like StreamYards to tie in questions and stuff. So it looks like they've already got the tech. Oh my goodness, look at that. 3 cameras on the go.
That's awesome.
What a setup that is. Just don't just go back for it. That gave me anxiety there. There was a trip hazard right there. Oh my goodness. Be so careful. And look at that keyboard on the sink. Oh my goodness, there's problems everywhere.
I love the dedication to this.
Oh yeah.
I see the sub-counting clock.
I wouldn't be able to do this. This is incredible.
Yeah, I would never. This is so cool. So I think you are in a good position. I do think you lack a little bit of counter space for my idea of pitting products against each other, but you'll figure it out. You know, put more keyboards over your sink so you have like a surface to put stuff on. But yeah, I think you should absolutely be adding live streams to the mix, especially if you have time for it. If you're feeling like it's coming at the sacrifice of your video schedule, I would say it's worth testing still. Like maybe instead of doing 2 videos that week, try just doing 1 and put a live stream in there and just see how you feel. You know, like really focus on YouTube. At the end of the day, what you're getting out of it as a creator. You know, it's we could play a lot of games with the algorithm and things like that, but if you're not having fun, that's gonna eat at you for sure.
Final question from me to Joe is, and I think Dan, you're kind of alluding to this. What is the goal of the live stream? Because typically it is not to get more views, get more subscribers, get more watch time. It's to perhaps take a core viewer, a big fan, to the next level of the relationship, whether that be signing up to a mailing list or buying a product, buying a service. You know, Dan and I have been having this conversation for the last few weeks, like, and you may have seen how we've been switching our live stream format up. We're trying to really think about our goal with this live stream because it's got a bit fuzzy over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And yet we just seem to come back to channel audits. That's what we seem to do best. But yeah, it's not really a audience building type of play from our experience. So try and answer that question before you really commit too much to the endeavor.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the first gaming channel we're going to be looking at today. Right. And they had a question. What do I need to do to fix my game reviews?
All right. So we're going straight into one of the videos and maybe done to watch one.
So they're called Just Mike. They have over 300 subscribers. Congratulations. And 63 videos. So they said game reviews. I'm seeing a lot of different Sonic
stuff.
Games.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find one that kind of screams review.
I think the first one, Sonic X Shadow Generations, is amazing, but that feels like as much of a review as any of them.
So I will say before we watch the video, the first thing is new Sonic games are not coming out at the rate at which you're uploading Sonic videos, right? Like I don't know. I don't follow Sonic too closely, so I don't know if this is new, but I have a feeling one of these is newer than the other. Does that make sense? And the reason I bring that up is because when I think reviews, I'm thinking someone on the cutting edge of the newest thing. So I think what you've the corner you've backed yourself up in here, yourself up into here is you are calling yourself, to us anyway, a review channel, but you seem to be focused on like, I want to say one game. I see some Spider-Man in here. Maybe it's supposed to be a PlayStation focus, but it's so much Sonic.
Sonic lore.
Yeah. And you are not really on the cutting edge at that point. I think you need to pick a genre of game if you're going to be a game review channel and get really good at reviewing being really in tune with a certain type of game, because that's what's going to grow your audience. People are going to find you through search and things like that. So focusing on one game is not a strategy as a review channel, in my opinion, if you're going to be strictly a review channel. Let's watch this and see what...
Before we click on it, Dan, let's think about expectations. So for a hook, what should we expect, do you think, if it's going to be a game review? Like, just give me all like brief thoughts of what would get you intrigued. I
think I would expect the creator to come on and say, I just finished playing Sonic X Shadow Generations, or I just played 100 hours of like something. It doesn't have to be 100 hours. I'm just giving examples. I just finished Sonic X Shadow Generations. I have some thoughts because overall my experience was pretty good, but there were a lot of places this game is lacking. And before you purchase it, blah, 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 and get into the review.
So to summarize, you're saying a setup. So you're making sure that the viewer knows they're in the right place. But I think that's the crucial thing. You're adding a but. There's some conflict in your review. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we can hear this. Yes, we can.
Okay, I gotta mute it because that's gonna get us copyright claims.
Sonic extra generations of view. Started with the chat portion. There it is.
Okay, so some editing. First of all, we should not be seeing ads. It looks like you are going to react to someone else's video. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
10 minutes and get overall arc percent of everything.
It's really difficult to understand you. I don't know if that's like a microphone issue or something like that.
I agree. I'm struggling to hear anything really. Sounds very mumbled.
Yeah, I think the quality of the mic could be an issue, but I think moreover, some captions overall would just kind of help me if you can't speak any louder. There's a number of things that could be going on. I'm not going to like speculate. I just think that overall as a viewer, it is a little bit difficult to kind of understand what's going on. And so I think if this is if this is where you're at in terms of audio right now, captions would be essential for this. You should bake captions into the screen, not this button here. I think they should be just baked onto the video. Go ahead.
Looking at the length of the video, which now I'm realizing is 2 hours and 52 minutes, and given in the first 20 seconds we were struggling to hear what was going on, and it felt like the creator had just pressed record and they were kind of doing some setup, or like there was something going on where it didn't quite sound right. My impression is that this person is just going to press record, do everything, and then upload it to YouTube. That's kind of what it felt like. Apologies if that's not quite right. Look, maybe you've done the research and you've got these screens to show, and as you say, you were playing a video to react to it. But there probably needs some editing going on here, Dan. If we jump back to the channel, what's the video length? Hang on, what's going on here? I thought it was 10 minutes. I've really got confused here.
10 minutes? Yeah.
Oh.
Because they were watching a video.
Oh, sorry. I'm being very, very stupid. I thought the length of the video was 2 hours, 52 minutes. They were reacting to a video. Rewind. Ignore what I just said there.
So, yeah, that's ultimately... I kind of expected you to be playing the game. The fact that you clicked on someone else's video is also a little confusing. I think if you're going to review a game, unless it's not out yet and you're just reacting to the trailer that the game studio put out, you should have the game in hand and you should be the one reviewing it, doing like proper screen capturing and everything else. And yeah, I think those would be just our general bits of advice for improvements. So we can move on.
All right.
All right. So those were a couple channels we just pre-selected to kind of show you this new format, how it's going to work with the forums. We have 184 channels on the non-gaming forum. We have 114 on the gaming forum. The forums are linked down below in the description. If you're here live, you can go ahead and submit at any point during the live stream, because we're just going to be picking randomly at this point, just random numbers. And we have a really specific technology we use to pick these random numbers. Yes, it's the claw. So the claw is here to help us because we don't know how to choose numbers randomly. And, this should be pretty easy. All we have to do is... Thanks. All we have to do is just ask the claw, hey, claw, will you pick a number between 1 and 185? Because that's how many YouTube channels so far that have submitted. I said that kind of goofy. Will you just pick a number? Okay. And then the clock comes on and picks a number. It's pretty easy.
Eventually.
It'll be fine. It's nice and fast. Oh, it crashed.
I've got sound effect for that.
It definitely... Okay, hold on. Well, let's see. There's a chance... There's a chance I hit the button too quick. We might have to use the analog claw or perhaps the boring picker.
The analog claw.
Okay, let's try it again.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Claw, wake
Laugh
up.
away.
It's time to pick a number between 1 and 188. Pick now. Go, go, go.
People are still really excited about the claw, even though it hasn't literally done anything yet.
All right.
Oh, goody. More of this. Let's go with number 77 because why not?
All right. Number 77.
That was brief and
Well, I told the claw
just
to be
moody.
brief. Yeah, the claw's a little upset. I told the claw to be brief.
All right.
So, number 77.
77.
So, is the video quality just too bad? How come the videos only get views from older age groups? Is it packaging or just me? Okay.
All right, two things to look at there then, Dan. See if we can work out what the channel's about.
All right. So we'll go to videos, and it's Brave Dog Training Online. Now, did I go to the right channel? Oh, that was the old gaming one. Okay. Yes. All right. This channel looks really good. I mean, I like the thumbnails, and the topic seems to be on point. And the questions were, is the video quality just too bad? How come you're only getting viewers from older age groups? So let's think about this for a minute. Who would be the target audience for this kind of content? That's so dog owners. A lot of young people would probably have dogs, but as part of the larger family unit.
Yeah.
Right.
The kids are interested in training and parenting a dog.
Right. They're not responsible necessarily.
Oh, Dad, can I have a dog? I promise I'll look after it. 2 weeks later, parent on YouTube.
Yep, exactly. So I would say you're getting an older viewership probably simply based on the fact that, older people are going to be the ones training their dogs.
Yeah.
Just, plain and simple. Now, if you wanted to do videos that appeal to a wider audience, instead of dog training videos would probably be like dogs jumping through hoops and doing tricks and things like that. But not in the context of training, literally just entertainment videos. I challenge my dog to a race with other dogs. I have no idea. So now that we have that out of the way, they did comment about their video quality.
First of all, Dan, can we just check the channel size, subscriber size?
So 631 with almost 600 videos.
Wow, they must have done a lot of shorts then, I guess, for that many videos.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. Because what I was maybe trying to get around to was, are they frustrated that only an older audience is watching, meaning that they might not be getting the views they expect? And I would say, given the channel size, the view counts are pretty on point, actually. Every single video is getting at least 100 views, if not more, which is promising. And just again, typically for this type of channel where it is kind of utility based, answering questions, especially for new dog owners, you want to find the most popular questions to ask to get the best answers for the widest audience. There was one in particular that interested me, Dan, if you just scroll down, which was an easy hack to teach a dog to take treats gently. That was something I really struggled with Jasper. He would try and gnaw off my finger if I offered him any treats. And that's universal to all. Whereas what I learned from living with a bite risk dog will shock you. That's interesting. It's got more views, but it's probably targeted to a more of a specific audience who have maybe aggressive dogs. So there might be a decision that the creator needs to make as to, in terms of an audience profile, are you wanting to just be a general dog parenting channel, or do you want to be a channel that helps dog owners with aggressive animals that need some assistance? And that might just help with the slightly spiky views that you get here and there. Sometimes it's 500, 800. Other times it's maybe 100 views.
So do you want to watch this one?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it seems like a broad, accessible one to all of us.
Most people think that when dogs turn to land sharks and snatch the treats out of your
Land sharks.
The first thing I'm noticing, since we're talking about the video qualities here, your audio is coming out of mostly one channel.
Is that right? Oh, I can't hear that, but it is on you, Dan, right?
For my end, it is coming out of my left headphone. So there's a little tiny bit in the right, but your audio balance is off, and it's also the quality of the audio overall is kind of fuzzy. So I would definitely, especially if you're working outdoors, I would definitely invest in a better microphone. DJI makes one that a lot of people are using these days. It's just a clip-on mic. It's just a little plastic rectangle you just clip onto your collar, and it's fantastic. It works in a lot of different environments.
We don't know yet if this is a voiceover that they may have done post filming.
True.
Let's carry on. I thought the video quality was very cool, actually, because there's a person filming this as well, and the depth of field here is gorgeous.
It's a really good shot. Let's
barely get your fingers out of your dog's mouth. It's an obedience problem.
All right,
okay.
That looks like one of those classic $30 wireless Amazon mics. Good to get started, but like for someone like you, Dan, you tuned in. It's like,
it is difficult because I really need to hear what you're saying in order to get the information here, and it is hard to listen to for those two reasons I mentioned: the one channel audio, and the fact that it's just so like fuzzy and clippy, and it's just not quite the level it should be at. I don't think you need to break the bank on this, but you are using the kind of mic I was hoping to see. It's just a lower quality version. So DJI, they make a lot of equipment for exactly this kind of purpose.
I would also, DJIs can be quite expensive. You're probably looking at about $200 there. I would have thought, Dan, maybe 150, 200.
Sorry,
the Holly, I'll get it.
Okay, Rob has something too. So depending on your budget, we'll bring Rob up full screen.
Feel as if I'm demoing this microphone every week now. It is the Holly. Can you read that? No, it's not going to focus on it, is it? Hollyland M2, and you get two magnetic mics, and you can also use it on Android and iOS if you got the right one. I would suspect in the Black Friday deals, you'll be able to get one for maybe $100 if you're lucky.
All right. Here's what we want.
Right. I would say let's play it now for 30 seconds, Dan, without us interrupting, because we got like 10 seconds in and we're just piling into it.
I like to start with a treat getter. It calms the dog down, it takes the nose down, and it creates a sense of abundance so that the treats aren't that exciting anymore. So you just take a bunch of treats and throw them. Your dog can just pick them up. And then you take the largest treat you have, and I start with boring treats. So the exercise is as easy as possible for my dog. And I take the treat between my thumb and my palm like this, so that the dog has a very easy task of just snatching the treat and not my finger.
Oh, it's an excited dog, is that? That's a lovely treat. Nom, 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 nom. Good boy or girl.
Now, as your dog gets...
Okay, so I like how you got right into the demonstration, and I think that you are addressing the issue right off the bat, and you are coming up with some really interesting solutions really quickly. So this is all awesome to see. The audio is the biggest upgrade, and then I would say the next thing I would do is not over edit the video. I've noticed you've put a fade transition between every single time you cut.
Oh, is that right, Dan? Yeah. That's a good point.
So yeah,
I used to do that.
Yeah, I did too. It's not necessary. It's a little distracting. Let it jump cut. Just let it jump cut. It's very normal on YouTube. One thing you can do if you don't like jump cuts is you can use B-roll over those, or you can simply push in and push out between different cuts, right? So you've already done that a little bit earlier when you showed like the close-up on your hand. You kind of pushed in. You could just jump cut to something like that and then cut back. So yeah, there's all kinds of little tricks you could do if you don't like jump cuts. But yeah, overall, it's a little distracting.
I have a tech suggestion as well, but this is going a bit next level. It does feel a bit static because it's all from one angle. If you could have a point of view camera, that would be, as a secondary camera, that would be amazing. So what I'm talking about here is like I know this may look stupid, but like a GoPro attached to your head, or Meta Ray-Bans they have like a camera in the glasses, And like if you could switch to that and then see like the POV view of a dog coming in for the treat, that might be really interesting. But as I say, kind of second camera angle, that's next level. But that would be kind of really exciting and interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So all good options there, I would say. I'm going to turn off my notifications real quick. I apologize for all the notifications.
Oh, was that you? I thought it was me.
No, I'm sorry. It was my fault. Okay. So we want
Yeah, it was you. That was me.
We have a couple of super chats here.
Oh, do we?
Before
Awesome.
we move on to the next
get
channel.
them
Channel memberships. Can you add an integrated welcome video when someone becomes a member, a bit like an intro video? Swear you used to be able to. You can add a video that is basically a sales pitch to become a member. But as far as I'm aware, there's no like welcome video that will play automatically when someone becomes a member. You can definitely do a members only video and maybe once in a while a community post pushing people to that video. But you can't, as far as I'm aware, you can't have a video just play after someone becomes a member.
So is it this intro video? That would be the enticement video.
Yes. So it encourages people to join.
Yeah.
And it's on the channel page itself. So when you hit the join button, that's where people will see it.
I guess what you could do is you could have a video that's at channel members only, and you say, watch this video first, but you've got to get them to watch it. I guess there's some friction there into how to communicate them to watch this certain video.
Mm-hmm. Next question here. Could I ask if my channel has a niche that works? You could, but your channel is not on the screen. So that would have needed to be like in the question because we can't pull up your channel based on super chats. I do hope, though, that throughout today you get some value out of the stream.
The short answer is if you have a passion for the niche, it's likely that in the YouTube universe of viewers, there are tens of thousands of people who have the same interest in that niche. So yes, is a short answer.
Detector Jim and Family Adventures gave us a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And hey, Cha-Ching King. No question, and I don't need anything. Just want to let you know your channel has helped me grow my channel. Absolutely tremendous value to the creator community. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you. I guess I should play this sound effect for
I was going to say.
King. I mean, that's the sound effect you want, really.
It's kind of right there.
Thank you for the very kind words, Kaching King. Cool channel name as well. It's good to say once you get it in your head, Kaching King. I like it.
And there were a couple that were starred here. I do want to get back to channels pretty quick, but we'll take these real quick. Can we use the same Google AdSense account with a different YouTube channel? Yes.
Yes.
As long as you put that channel underneath another channel in your like hierarchy. So like the same email address would be in charge of multiple channels.
Same Google account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I unlist one of my videos going viral that is not part of my niche anymore? Up to you.
I mean, I think for long-term sustainability and growth of your channel, without knowing the particulars and the details, probably yes. Because what's happening is that people are flooding into your channel and videos through that piece of content, and then the next video they see suggested from your channel is completely unrelated. It's kind of a one and done scenario.
But if that channel is monetized thanks to that video and bring you a little bit of money, maybe you just start a new channel and let that channel just do its thing, you know? So it's kind of a, it depends on how much time you've invested in the other half of the channel where you're kind of like doing your normal content. If you feel like it's getting in the way, you just have to make that decision for yourself. And we don't know the particulars, but
this is a double-edged sword of chasing viral trends.
Yes, and sometimes people aren't chasing it. Sometimes it just happens. But, And then we got another super chat here from Industry Pets. Thanks for doing live channel reviews. Really enjoying it and learning. Absolutely. You're
cool.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat. So those were super chats. We can come back to those in a little bit if we have more. Let's ask the Claw to help us pick some more channels. I have to pull up the channels here. And then we can say, well, okay, we're going to pick a gaming channel this time. So there's 152. So I would just have to go into here and say, all right, now we're going to pick a gaming channel. There's 152 to choose from. Pick one, please.
Can you try and say that, Dan, while we're waiting?
Oh, I can
No.
barely contain my excitement. Let's see. Number 112. Can't you feel the thrill?
Can't you feel the thrill?
Anti-establishmentarianism.
There you go. Okay, 112. How do you get more subs? That's the question. That was the burning question.
Okay. Put me on full screen, Dan.
Okay. Rob's going to answer your question.
I'm going to answer your question with a drum roll. You want to know how to get more subscribers. The simple answer is make more videos. As you will learn how to be a better content creator. More people will watch your content, enjoy it, become fans, subscribe.
Yes. So we don't even need to look at the channel now. We've answered the question.
Well, let's have a look at the channel and give them three
Well,
pieces of advice to when they're making more videos.
Okay. So, Wanderly, thank you for submitting, by the way. It looks like we have a car channel or a React channel. Looks like a reaction channel, perhaps.
Yeah, it's a non-English channel, so that leaves a bit of translation challenges for us. There's a bit of gaming here as well. I'm getting mostly a car vibe, but not completely.
I think the cars might be in video games, not here. But
Yes,
like down
possibly.
Some like Grand Theft Auto roleplay.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a difficult one for us. It's very hard because we don't speak the language. But also, like, I always hesitate a little bit because and there's plenty of channels like this, it's fine, but like when you are relying on other people's content, it becomes kind of like a dicey thing where you are like completely at the whims of these other creators. So it's harder to give advice, basically, is all I'm trying to say. Let's look at one of them for a minute, just to see, just to get like a feel for the content.
¿Qué lo que, malvado sea mío? El día de hoy venimos con un palmeo.
So I'm going to assume this is the host of the channel setting up the video, and this is what they're reacting to.
Watching and reacting to a stream.
So I guess the question I have, and I'll just mute it for now. The question I have is, okay, how are the reactions? You are actually like looking at the camera and talking. Are you reacting to a reaction?
Is that a reaction to a reaction? Have we just gone reaction inception? Holy smokes.
Wait, how deep does this go?
I think I've just taken the red pill.
One thing that I would be concerned with when doing this type of content, you are pausing and stuff. Okay. That's what I was going to say. Is it just playing the whole way through? But you are pausing and adding commentary. I think reacting to a reaction is a bit meta. I do think I would take like one step back from that chain. But again, I struggle when it comes to reaction channels. I'm just not sure the formula. It's not the type of content I watch. So I don't know. Do we have any other general bits of advice?
So question: are these live streams or not live streams? Because
I think they were.
There were live streams on Twitch and transported over here.
I feel like this creator is recording a video where they're reacting to Twitch streams or YouTube streams.
Do they have what's on the live tab?
Good question.
So there's live streams there as well. So that is throwing me a bit. You're doing live streams, but then you're doing like 5-hour long form videos as well. Mm-hmm. What's the goal there? Because I'm a little thrown by that.
Yeah, so there's a disconnect here because it looks like you are playing these games, and you're the one doing like these role play videos. So it's kind of an interesting transition to do that and then react to situations on different live streams and things like that. So I would say, like, what is the target viewer that you're going for? Because it's a little bit confusing. It makes sense when I see more role play from what I assume is Grand Theft Auto, that makes sense to me on your video tab. But some of this content is like night and day. Like I don't, of course we don't speak the language, but I don't know. This doesn't look like anything to do with the games you're playing on your live streams.
And the other thing I noticed is some heavy text, heavy title manipulation. Not in like a hacky way, but just if we look at the second video from the right on the second row, which has, I think, a flag at the beginning, but I can't see the flag image. It's the Creativos one, Dan. Yeah, that one. And we got red and blue dots. We got an alien emoji, and then a ribbon emoji. It feels like the title's trying to tell me 10 things. You know, sometimes we have thumbnails that are too busy. That's a very busy title for me to try and quickly understand.
Yeah. So it looks like this is re-uploaded live stream. So I would
who is this? Where Lenzio? Is that them?
I think.
Oh yes, it is. Is it? I don't know.
It looks like the same room and everything.
Yeah, it is. Small. Yeah, it is.
So yeah, they're there's a couple things. When I see streamers have like multiple things that they're doing, they typically have a channel just for VODs from the stream. And so if you're going to upload a 4 or 5 hour VOD from your stream, I feel like that should go on like a VODs channel. And this channel should be focused on the other audience that you're trying to get, which is maybe you're trying to appeal to an audience that's talking about drama or whatever it is. I don't know what's happening in the reaction videos. I've seen streamers have multiple interests and I've seen them be successful. So it's not like you can only be gaming and no reaction. That's not what I'm saying. But I would definitely be cognizant of the type of viewer you're going for at the end of the day. If you've built up an audience that really enjoys your roleplay content, they might not be into cars or the reactions you're doing. And that's just kind of like the truth of the matter. So different channels can help you kind of like differentiate your interests. And it doesn't like confuse your viewership. That could be a route for you, but I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. But again, this is us doing our best, not understanding the language.
We caveat all that we've said with the language barrier, and we apologize if we've misinterpreted this channel.
Yeah. But all right, let's take a look at the next channel here. This will be a non-gaming channel. So we just have to ask our friend the Claw, like this. We need another channel. There's 260 non-gaming channels. Please pick one.
What we should probably do is star these long words that I can try and say in between asking a question.
Let's have a peek at number 153, shall we? I can't wait. Really.
And Claudia's answer.
This still sounds a little sarcastic to me. What am I doing wrong because I don't get subscribers and views?
All right. All right. Shall we do a drum roll again? Make more videos. We would encourage you to ask a specific question, because if we're just being honest, if you're asking a simple question like, how do I get more views? How do I get more subscribers? It reflects that you're probably at the very beginning of your YouTube journey and you've got a lot to kind of learn and pick up on. And so our advice might be relatively simple and straightforward here. This is the channel, right, Dan?
Yes. So I can already see what might be the problem. But I'm not going to make this judgment call until I see one of the videos.
I'm having the same vibes as you.
What if I told you there are only for proven ways to get...
They're only for proven ways. Okay, so that tells me everything I need to know. This channel seems like they're heavily relying on automation to make their videos. Now, if that's not true, you're just using an AI voice and you're playing with a lot of different thumbnails and stuff. Plenty of people do that. I'm saying the perception I have as a new viewer is, oh, this channel seems automated to me. Meaning... the trust is kind of broken really fast with the average viewer. I think the average person, this is my own just hot take, the average person probably does not see a channel that looks fully automated and get excited to watch, because typically it's just difficult to follow what's going on. The information could be from anywhere. There's a lot of things that happen in the background. And I'm saying this is what people might assume. I'm not saying that's what's happening.
I'll be a little more nuanced than that, Dan. I think when it comes to maybe entertainment, fun facts, casual content, they may be more pliable to watching AI generated content, but the packaging suggests that this creator wants to help people make more money. And then there becomes a big trust factor, doesn't there? Like if it's something to do with health or relationships or making money, then you feel as if you want to be watching, listening, and starting to trust somebody who has these real life experiences and not necessarily stuff that could have been created through ChatGPT. And so just to add a bit more nuance to the way you were approaching this channel.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do think that's the problem. Like the videos are going out to real people, and they're going to see the titles and the thumbnails. And if their trust is broken, like as Rob's saying, like if you're going to help me make money, I need to like see some evidence that like you are there and you know what you're talking about. And it's difficult to get someone to buy into what you're trying to sell if you're not even willing to be the one to pitch it to them. You know what I mean? So
by most popular, and then let's just see if they've had any outliers so far.
Not really. So that is, unfortunately, I think that's the best I can do in terms of advice. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
I think just when it comes to faceless channels automation, we're now 2 years, I'd say 2 years into this AI driven industry, and the competition is getting fierce. And, you know, when you look at channels such as Noah Morris, who is like a known entity in the faceless channel empire, and the way he puts together content where he will still hire script writers and have like a professional voiceover do the content, even when it is maybe reused content. I wouldn't be surprised if there are maybe several hundred channels that have sprouted up in the last 2 years that have followed a very similar path. So that creator, as well as having this trust factor that they've got to try and overcome, there's also the freshness of the content. How new is it? I'm sure there's been hundreds of channels, hundreds of videos already on the secret successes of Warren Buffett.
Right.
And so to just do another video like that, I think is going to be a tough sell.
Right. And I took the channel off the screen because I just want to speak to the larger community, like when it comes to like this type of channel. If you're thinking about making a channel like this, or you're struggling with a channel like this or whatever, just keep in mind that every day that competition is growing really fast. And considering that a fully automated channel can produce 1,000 videos in a day or whatever it wants, imagine how saturated YouTube is getting with all types of content. And do you really think that these tools that are helping you generate the ideas are coming up with unique ideas that are just for you? Or are you taking those same exact ideas it's giving to a million other people and also trying to make the same exact video that a million other people are trying to make? It's this snowball that's just getting crappier and crappier because it's going to be harder and harder to get seen with this type of content. It worked before because it was new, and as something ages, it becomes more saturated. And in the case of this, like I've seen, you know, word on the street that YouTube is trying to detect when content looks automated and deliberately like not pushing it. So if your content has, you know, automated vibes, that's the solution, is to not do that. Basically, that unfortunately you kind of forces fighting against you that are way out of your control.
I think Dan has just invented the term crap ball.
Yeah, crap ball. Yeah, it's just a ball of crap just rolling down the hill. Again, that's not a knock on this channel. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes of that channel. Overall, I liked the thumbnails, and I liked that it was focused on a specific topic. But I do think they're going to struggle as they continue to try and build, because they're just fighting such an uphill battle.
And then when that crap ball gets to the bottom of the hill, Jeff Goldblum turns up and says, "That is one big pile of crap." Now, Dan, if you'd watched Jurassic Park, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But still,
I knew, as soon as you said Jeff Goldblum, I knew exactly where you were going with that, because you're very predictable.
That's it. I've got like 8 jokes, and I've been using them for the last 8 years. You got me good and proper there, Dan. Well played. Well played.
You're welcome. Okay, so gaming channel rather. Now we need another gaming channel. There's 169 of them. Please choose one.
Oh, is this a word I need to say? My teacher.
Oh, joy of all joys. Let's go with number 69. just because it matches my perpetual mood of pure delightful sarcasm.
Okay, that's
doesn't feel very random.
that didn't go well, Dan, did it?
I'm sorry.
Read
Wow.
the room, Claudia.
That is what automation gets you, everybody.
That'll be a lesson to you.
Yep.
Villager Man. Right, what was the question? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
What was their question? Yeah, sorry. How can I improve the views on videos?
Okay.
How can we improve the quality of the questions that you all are
So,
asking?
Dan, I think you need to put in parentheses. Do not say more views, more subscribers for next week.
Yes. What we want, it's okay, I get it. We want views, I get it. But what we want to be able to help you is, like, this is your opportunity to ask us something really specific about your channel. So we're always going to give you advice that leads to getting more views, in our opinion. So what's the deeper level here? What is it that you're doing on your channel that, that hasn't been working, or what has been working? What's been exciting? Or do you feel like, oh, I have to do Bed Wars PvP because, like, that's what everyone else is doing? Is that true? Can I do something else? Like, there's all kinds of different directions this can go based on the questions you ask. And by the way, if you're sitting there thinking that's the question I asked, well, you can edit the form. You can absolutely go in if you have like a better question. You should be able to edit your response. So just my PSA there. I want to help, and of course we're going to try and help you get more views. That's just like what we're here to do.
Here's the curious thing about this channel, and they have 366 subscribers. View counts are actually pretty healthy, I would say, for where they're at.
Yeah.
Given who's pressed the subscribe button so far, you're getting hundreds of views on most videos. And this is kind of weirdly in spite of what we traditionally might say, in the fact that you don't have any custom thumbnails, or at least it doesn't look like it. You're just taking a screenshot. The titles are curious. You have what looks to be an interesting little series here where you say, I beat Minecraft in 5 minutes. There's 2 outliers there. 500 views, 500 views. Well, 513 views, 495 views. That's interesting. And then what's even more interesting, Dan, is that when they use custom thumbnails on these Bedwar ones, which actually I think look pretty cool, the videos performed worse. So I don't want to say to this person, let's start making custom thumbnails.
Right.
And I also want to say, although those titles are a bit funky in that they're kind of long, they have pipes and in emojis in, those are the ones that are resonating most with your audience. So I would be looking at turning the I beat Minecraft mod, whatever, in 5 minutes into a series and doing that on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, find other challenges to kind of put in front of yourself, and then continue to try and beat Minecraft in 5 minutes or a certain amount of time with different stakes and different things just up that you're up against. That could be really interesting. One of the other reasons I think some of these thumbnails perform better than the really high produced ones is because it seems like it's an action shot. Like, this one has almost 500 views, and you can see someone is actively getting hit with a sword.
Okay.
And I think that kind of works a bit. It speaks to like an authenticity. And back in the day, we would have said you have to have custom thumbnails, but I think the tides have turned quite a bit across YouTube, and the more custom your thumbnail is, sometimes that could come off a little bit inauthentic. So I'm not saying you should give up on custom thumbnails. I'm just saying I'm not too surprised in certain contexts to see a non-thumbnailed video, quote unquote, do a little better. Because how many of the like largest and medium-sized Minecraft channels are using thumbnails that look like this? You know, they look nice. They're heavily produced though, but it looks like every other Minecraft Bed Wars video that I've certainly ever seen pop up in search.
Can we sort by most popular? Just see if there's any more outliers. No, but it's those 5 minute ones. Those are your outliers.
Yeah, which is cool. And the video's 5 minutes long, so that makes sense.
Yeah. You are delivering what you promise.
Yeah. Can you try and do 4 minutes? That would be really impressive. That's really cool. I think there's a whole pipeline here for, impressive times in popular Minecraft minigames. I don't even think you have to focus on Bed Wars. I think any other popular Minecraft minigame, can you beat it in a certain amount of time that looks impressive to the average onlooker who's played it before?
Let's watch the first 15 seconds, Dan, and then we'll move on to the next audit.
Huh?
I can't read that last one.
Oh, I can't read.
I think in terms of not commentating, this is fine.
I think that might be something to try and encourage and introduce in the long run. Doing some commentary and stuff. And I would have liked a bit more of a setup.
Yeah.
But hey, let's keep this theme going because it is like, look at the engagement. We've got 18 likes. How many? Any comments? Just scroll
9.
down. So there is engagement there.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of promise here. And what I would say is that this was only 7 days ago and it already has 500 views. It's already the most popular video on your channel. Something is really keeping people interested in this content. It's probably starting to spread to a new audience. So you're doing a lot of things right. And your question was, how do you get more views? What we've identified here is that when you talk about how long it took you to beat the game, that really seems to help. I don't think you need things like I hope you like on the title or anything. It kind of feels like you're cluttering your titles unnecessarily. Minecraft Bed Wars and Hive beating it in 5 minutes. You know, I would play around with the title format a little bit, but overall, that's the value. You're bringing them a 5-minute video. You're saying you're beating in 5 minutes, and as long as that actually happens, great. And the fact that you're not editing, this is perfect. This is kind of like the speedrunning playbook because speedrunners can't really edit their content. Any to edit makes it look like they're cheating. So this is like perfect content if you're just like not interested in editing a video. They did edit a little bit. They put text and stuff in the beginning. But anyway, there's a lot of things going on right here. I think you should be really proud of the success that you've had on your channel. And I think that you can continue learning from this and developing as time goes on. All right. We have a few more questions we got while we were looking at these last couple channels.
All right.
Oh, just some supers. Been a fan of vidIQ for 8 years. Kevin, thank you so much.
Ooh, 8 years, hey. So tell me, what was going on 8 years ago? Because I think I was the only one who was here. Trying to remember.
Ginger gave us 2. Thank you so much. And Brovy Comedy became a member.
Oh, custom sound effect for you. Bro. Appropriate for the channel.
Perfect comment. All right. Let's take a look at a non-gaming channel. I got to bring back up the claw. I got to bring up the form and see that there's 286 now. Thank you. So let's take a look and say, claw, there's 286 channels on the non-gaming forum. Will you please pick one? All right. Here we go.
Oh, certainly, because there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. How about number 202? Sounds particularly thrilling, doesn't it?
Sure.
202.
So the channel's called Car Variants. I want to ask if I'm doing the right thing with the thumbnails, titles, and content. Okay.
Packaging. All right.
Focused on video packaging. Take a look. 31 subscribers, 16 videos. Seems like good progress for, a month on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. You are going from talking about the different variants of a car to news when it comes to cars. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so if you've ever looked for a car before, like if you've been in the market for buying a car, a video that explains the different variations of a particular car, I actually think is really valuable because it can get very confusing very quickly. As manufacturers continue to add different packages to different vehicles. Like it's the same vehicle, it's a Toyota Corolla, but they just, have like 100 different things that you can do with them. So It's nice that someone would take a specific car and they don't have to worry about, okay, is this the EX version? Now I got to make a video about the LX version or whatever. They're just able to sit there and say, all right, here's all the different cars that, Honda makes for this particular model. I like that.
Solid starts with thumbnails. Obviously, the car is the important thing, and that is front and center. experimenting with adding more text and less text. I think naturally Dan and myself are going to ease towards the ones where it just has maybe the car and a bit of text. So the three that I'm looking at, the Murati Suzuki Brezza, if I've pronounced that right, and the Honda Amaze, those three in succession kind of look like the cleanest ones. An experiment you could try is perhaps having a comparison of different variants. How you do that, I'm not sure. Maybe it's through like the trim of a wheel, or like whether one's automatic or manual, and kind of extending on from what Dana has been saying about trying to get your head around the different variants. With variants comes a price difference. So is there a way you can include how deciding not to go for this variant that's $500 more is a wise choice? Because, you know, do you really need the silver trim on this car where, you know, on this, the really important parts of the variants are in this pack, you know, in the suspension pack, whereas the sports pack just doesn't have the extras that you need. So kind of that conflict of price may be useful to test as well. But I think they've already found their niche here of comparing different variations of vehicles, because those are the ones that are getting exceptional views. This is everything, right? From a month, and how many subscribers have they got?
31. So
that's incredible to be having that engagement. Let's just click on one, Dan, and maybe look at the hook. I would say the most popular video. So the one with nearly 1,000 views. This Honda Amaze one. Yeah.
हेलो एंड वेलकम टू कार वेरिएंट्स एक्सप्लेन। आज हम बात करेंगे B2 सेगमेंट सेडान होंडा अमेज के बारे में। इस वीडियो में होंडा अमेज के डायमेंशन, इंजन स्पेसिफिकेशन, प्राइस और वेरिएंट वाइज फीचर्स देखेंगे। चलिए इसके डायमेंशंस देखते हैं। होंडा अमेज की लेंथ।
So in 20 seconds, obviously a language we cannot strictly follow, but they've managed to do the setup, show them what they're going to cover. Clearly, they don't have access to the car themselves, so I guess they're on the website, maybe looking at a 3D image of a vehicle and then maybe adding some of their own graphics. A bit of a guess. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, I guess, production going into this in terms of putting all of these images together and stuff. So there's a unique, you know, when we talk about AI versus this, like you can tell that there's real heart and passion that's gone in. You know, they don't have access to this car, but they do have a knowledge and a passion to share this information with their audience. Yeah.
There's a lot you can do with just whatever the websites are willing to provide you here. And it's working out. That's really cool. I now I see why there's so focus on variants. I didn't notice the channel name before. But I love the focus. And I do think there's a lot of value in this content. What I would say is the reason you're going to get videos with 1,000 views and then like 100 views and 46 views, I think simply because it depends on what car people are looking for. When people go into that search, they might already kind of have something in mind. So you will likely get a lot of views from search. It's going to be harder to gain subscribers over time just because you were kind of helping people with a problem today, and they don't need to come back tomorrow necessarily. You know, they're going to buy their car and they're going to be on their way. So I would be accepting of the fact that your content is going to consistently bring in new audience, and you can grow over time. Other things they could do in order to turn that around a little bit, do you think? Like, do you think there's no hope for that, or do you think there's another content format they can do that kind of brings people back?
I would try not to worry about that yet, Dan, because they're only a month into their journey and they've already found like their own little niche. That some channels, it takes them years to find that. So me personally, I would just be leaning into the different variations, forgive the pun, but the different variants of this format. So it might be you start to compare the different variation packages between brands. Like, what have we got here? We got Honda and Suzuki. Like, who offers the better variants? Like, is it just pointless getting the additional stuff on Suzuki because they're just not worth the value? But Honda does these amazing variations. So there's kind of that you can do. And then I feel as if there are the compilation videos that are potentially there as well. Like you've done a couple on the Suzuki Brezza, trying to pronounce that correctly. Maybe if you've done 3 or 4 of them, that might go into like a 20-minute video of all of the comparisons. So for me, Dan, it's just this creator falling in love with the process, and they're already starting to build an audience, which is cool.
Yeah, I do think something you touched on there that I was going to say too is you could help people narrow it down. You know, like, so you won't focus on one car for a video. You actually focus on a whole bunch that you've covered in the past. And then you can link different videos in that video. So if I'm like, I don't even know what to choose. If let's say their priority is safety. So you can do a video about the safest vehicles and the different variants and stuff. And then, you know, I've covered the Suzuki Desire. I've covered the Honda Amaze, and that's videos here. Like, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, but your audience is in the market for buying a car. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's like the box that you're able to work within, basically. All right, it looks like we have a few more supers here. I don't want to miss those.
All right.
Thank you so much, everybody, for your support, by the way. How do I refine the passion and fun I've lost in, and I've gotten lost in analytics?
So this might be very anti what we typically preach, but maybe this creator just needs to make a video that they love. You know, they want to make a video about a certain topic that they find really interesting and passionate about, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't get the views that they would typically hope for. I would maybe kind of recommend that. Perhaps that sounds a little too simplistic, Dan. Help me out here. Do you think I'm giving the right advice, sir?
I think that's definitely, depends on what they need, right? Like if you have been putting stuff off because you're like, well, my analytics will be thrashed if I make that video, make it anyway and go in expecting that. You know, if you go into a project expecting a certain result, especially if that result is like kind of negative, and then you come out of it like, oh, it did a little better than I thought, that always feels a little good. I also recommend stepping away if that's what you need right now. Like, that could be so beneficial. And whether you take like a month-long break or you just take more breaks throughout the week, go do something that has nothing to do with YouTube. Go just another activity that you enjoy, even if it's your favorite thing. Like, oh, hiking once in a while, I enjoy doing that. Like, go do that. Like, go do something to just get away from YouTube for a minute to fulfill like those other needs that your brain has that might be going ignored if you're too sucked into the analytics.
Or just YouTube without the analytics. I was trying to think of a phrase, Dan. You know, when you talk about Movember and January, when you don't drink alcohol for a month. I'm trying to think of a month you could do when you don't go any analytics. So what would it? Janalytics.
Janalytics.
Did anyone get that? Was I just
you froze for just a second? But,
yeah.
So that could, deleting the studio app off your phone temporarily could help. But it sounds like you're hitting a little bit of burnout. And so I would try and like be real with yourself about like what you feel like is going to be the best route to get out of that. It's not going to be like a fast process. And I think that's okay. Like, let it take as long as it takes, but you're no good to anybody if you're too burnt out to like make a video in the first place that you're proud of. All right, we have one here. I was trying to read this question. I don't quite understand it. Does gaming always need to be a separate channel, or could it fit occasionally on an existing channel? I'm going to assume that you don't play a lot of games in your channel. In which case, one thing you could do is you're doing your normal videos and you could do a gaming live stream once in a while, and that can be on the same channel. Again, it's for your community. It always helps if you're focused. Obviously, that live stream will do better if you're doing kind of your normal thing. But if you just want to like unwind, start a Twitch channel. That can also work. But if you don't want to do it live, then maybe you just spin up a gaming channel just for fun. I would anytime I'm starting a new channel, I wouldn't take it too seriously. It's just something you're doing for you. Like we just were mentioning before with Philo Rogue. Like, just do something for you that's fulfilling.
Doesn't Moist Critical occasionally do gaming stuff on his main channel?
I mean, he's so big at this point.
I know that's it's a terrible comparison, but I mean, the answer is no. But what does your audience want to watch?
Yeah.
If you've never really talked about video gaming in your the regular topic that you cover, then that's going to be quite a jarring pivot to do. However, if you're always dropping gaming references and like showing your interest and passion for games in your content, and your audience is really engaged with that, then yeah, it might be worth testing. But I would say, typically speaking, it's an issue to try and incorporate this into an existing channel.
By the way, I meant to plug this earlier. Completely irrelevant, but we're on Blue Sky. That's not Blue Sky. Sorry. We're on.
That's YouTube. We're on YouTube.
It looks so similar. We're on Blue Sky. So go ahead. The link is down below if you want to follow us over on Blue Sky.
What is Blue Sky?
It's a social media microblogging app. It's this new thing, and we're just starting to post on it more. So
I guess it is a more pertinent question. Is anybody on X anymore?
It doesn't seem like,
because like
this is why I'm bringing it up, because it's getting so much traffic lately. They just hit 20 million active users. So, and that's every day I'm seeing another post about how they grew a certain amount. So yes, it looks like Twitter, but old school. So old school Twitter. So we're doing some stuff on there. So you go check it out if you want. I think everyone's just getting split up between these platforms, but I wanted to mention it before we move on to the next question, because I forgot. Beyond Every Valley says, thank you for a great 8 months, up to 480 subs now. Congratulations. Nice. That's awesome.
Almost at 500.
Almost.
Monetization.
Tinush Gaming says, what does it mean to have a good SEO? Is my SEO so wrong? Why is my video not getting rich? So good SEO, like search engine optimization, is one piece of the puzzle. Okay. So if like the video, the channel you're just looking at that focuses on car variants, that's going to be a channel that's heavily reliant on having good SEO, because people are going to be typing into the search bar looking for answers on specific questions. But if you're doing a gaming channel, you might not want to just target search. You might want your videos to spread a little more organically through suggested and browse and things like that, which means you need to be kind of jumping on trends and kind of doing different fun challenges and things like that. So you can have SEO, but that's going to be great if you're a review channel reviewing a specific game, so people are searching for it. But there's a time where people are searching, and there's a time where people are just hanging out and just want to watch something fun. And you can balance those two things. You can sometimes do more search-driven content. Sometimes you can do more browse-driven content. There's a trade-off with either. Like, browse is a bit more difficult to crack. Search can be competitive. So, yeah, that's kind of the difference there.
I don't think I can answer this question in like 30 seconds, unfortunately. And I'll just say it. As far as I'm concerned, SEO as is understood in its traditional sense is just dead on YouTube. I think it's so much more about the connection with the packaging of the content that may include keywords. Don't get me wrong, like keywords are still really important for discoverability, especially in search. But to get somebody to actually click on a video goes beyond SEO, in my opinion. Kind of alluded to that in the video that we made on Friday about video tags, so go check out that. But yeah, Dan, maybe we need to have a long form conversation about SEO on YouTube in 2025 or something.
That'd be fun.
Because I use this kind of like very flaky new term. I call it CEO, which is like content engine optimization. It doesn't sound very fancy and fruity. But given the fact that YouTube scans every single frame of a video to know what it's about, the actual content of a video, this is why SEO, I think, kind of loses its allure, especially on YouTube. That was longer than 30 seconds. I'm sorry. You
tried. Recommendation for a camera for a small channel?
Oh, everyone's going to say something different here.
Phone.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer, Dan. Yeah, your phone is probably excellent.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
If you use the light of a window, and if you don't have any lighting yet, and yeah, film on your phone at first. I don't think you need to go too fancy just yet. I think if you were looking at really expensive products that you're not really interested in buying right now, don't be fooled by glitz and glam. Like just make good content, and a phone can do a fantastic job, especially when you're just starting out.
What if, Dan, you are doing like talking head stuff and you need to see your framing. And if you use a phone, it will be I can never remember get this right. Is it the front-facing camera? Or it's the worst of the two cameras.
Yes.
So it forces you to think, well, I probably need like a camera with a proper lens.
Or a friend. And put them in the chair and frame them and then see where they were sitting.
All right. I'll just say Panasonic G7, but that's just my own personal favorite as a DSLR. Terrible autofocus. As you can see, it's been hunting for me throughout this entire live stream, but everything else about it is beautiful. It's brilliant. If you stand in one place and put the focus on manual, I think it's an excellent camera, but it's like 10 years old at this point.
PKN says, if you make passion video that you really like but won't get views, will it hurt the channel overall algorithm in terms of pushing it future content? No, in my opinion. It depends. Like if you only do that for like a month, but you can test things. Channels are not made of paper. You can definitely Rob, you answer. I'm going to pull up an example.
I think if you continually make passion project videos that don't resonate with the audience YouTube is sharing it with, then I think that will be a consistent signal to YouTube that the audience's interest has waned. One video here and there, I agree, probably won't have an impact, but this is why sometimes channels do have peaks and troughs where they're testing new content, doesn't quite work out, but they go back to what they're used to. That brings an audience back, etc., etc. Dan, show us your example.
This creator is trying all kinds of things. Their name is Mike Crocker. Just a spoiler, you might be seeing them on, in a future video. So you can see they have videos that got like a couple hundred views after doing videos that got a lot more views. You might think, oh gosh, did this destroy their channel? No, their next video, which was awesome, got 120K views and growing. It's actually seems like it's gotten a lot more since I last checked it. So yeah, you are allowed to try things on your channel, and you should. He really likes making videos like this, and it teaches you a lot when you make videos like this. So I think if he pivoted to only doing like tier lists for different animals or something for like a year, like eventually people would just know him as that, and he could struggle to gain like an audience that was like interested in these types of videos that he's passionate about making. But yeah, it's really important to test things and try things out. So don't be too afraid. But yes, of course, you can end up building an audience that is like kind of small and tight knit around a subject that's not very popular. And then when you switch, now your regular viewers, which are few, are not watching. So YouTube is like, hey, people don't like this. I'm not going to keep sharing it. Even your current viewers hate it. And then you have to like sit there and wait and hope that it gets, recommended to the correct audience. So yeah, it is a slight tightrope, I guess. RPG World. 2 days ago, I got 1,000 subs. Congrats. Today's hours are 399. Congrats. Your advice to apply for monetization or wait a few more days?
YouTube will invite you to apply, so you don't need to worry. As soon as you hit the requirements, well, maybe not like the moment you hit the requirements, but within 48 hours, you'll probably get a notification from YouTube to invite you to join. So first of all, congratulations on that, and start earning some dough.
Alpheus Gaming. Hey boys, thanks for everything. Question: what's the take on someone copying my thumbnail? I redesigned the original from the devs and translated it to Spanish. Okay, I'll just answer a more broad question. I would try not to worry too much if someone's taking your thumbnails and stuff. You just can't stop people from peopling. So
it is a reflection that you're doing good work if people are copying it, and the thought should be people who always copy will never be able to surpass you, because you'll be the one leading the way, and you'll think of new thumbnail designs to create. And as Dan says, just try not to sweat it unless it's like super obvious and they're really benefiting, and maybe you will have to try and contact them or report them to YouTube. There isn't strictly a way to do content ID on thumbnails, is there? Which is something that would be nice to have, but I guess a nightmare for YouTube to try and set up
Yeah.
tech-wise.
And then something will go wrong, and then we're like, YouTube falsely ID'd my thumbnail.
Yeah.
Gamer DD, how's it going? What is a good mix of videos for gaming channels, shorts, long format, live? I will say it's the mix that works best for you, which is, I know, a very frustrating answer, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say there's a secret formula. I think it's whatever just makes the most sense. If you're prioritizing shorts because of some reason that you should be working on it, but you don't really like making them, I think you're just taking time away from like your long form videos in that case. That's just one example. It really is up to you and where you want to focus your time, because those three formats, like combined on one channel, can be done. Plenty of people have done it. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you're trading one for the other based on how much time you have in a day.
The different creative disciplines, and I would like to think that you get competent at a certain formats and start to a point where I feel as if I've got pretty good at this for the time being. Maybe I want to try and do something else a little bit creatively. What I would probably advise against is trying to do a long form piece of video, then a short the next day, then a live stream the next day, and then going back to a long form piece of content. You just constantly, I try and relate this to going out for a run or a jog. You'll know if you're running, if anything stops you, like it's traffic lights or somebody catches your attention, it is awful to stop and then try and get back up to speed. It just takes so long and so much effort to do it. But when you're in a cadence of just content, I feel as if you learn faster and gain more skills.
And then finally, Car Variants Explains, so thank you for the review and suggestions. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you for your support. Or yeah, there was a super chat. Thank you. All right. So there's your channel reviews for the week.
Lovely stuff.
Indeed. Stay tuned. We're doing all kinds of stuff. Tomorrow is thumbnails. So if you want to specifically focus on making better thumbnails, join us for tomorrow's live stream. And we got all kinds of cool videos coming out. So subscribe, follow us on Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky now. And what else? Anything else?
Blue Sky for the win. It is Thanksgiving week next week, but I think we'll still be here, so don't worry about that. Definitely on a Tuesday, I can confirm that. But otherwise, yeah, hope you found this valuable. Again, appreciate your time and keep creating.
Indeed. See you later, everybody.
Awkward wave. Until